I want you to imagine spending a day or two in person with us, getting individual attention on the aspects of your relationship and your love life that matter most to you. And now imagine having the stage set for you in the most gentle and respectful way for you and your partner to permanently resolve your biggest recurring conflict without getting triggered. So either you're coming with your partner and you can do that, or you're coming alone and you're being set up to do that on phone calls and other interactions with them.
Or you're looking at your pattern just as a single person on that one day to really do that inner work to unwind it so you don't bring it to the next relationship and the next one.
One of our past participants in this last workshop said that he couldn't believe it. He said, we dove in and we actually solved the most important issue of our whole relationship. We've been married for years now, and I just assumed we weren't ever going to solve it. I was crying my eyes out because I heard her say and acknowledge things that I didn't even think she had any idea about. It was amazing.
Really, in the workshop itself, we're going to practice 3 evolutionary conversations that will raise the consciousness of your relationship. You know, we're really, really big believers in teaching you the nuts and bolts of what is evolutionary relationship. What are the distinctions that create it as such? How do you go from ordinary to extraordinary in your relating? And, you know, it can be taught. It's just we aren't in an educational system where we're taught how to love and relate in these ways. But, you know, in a few days, we can actually teach you how to do this. So 1 is you'll practice those 3 evolutionary conversations. 2, you'll learn about how more about what to do when your partner triggers you and how to de-escalate without giving up your truth. Right? We don't want, you know, this idea of compromise or selling out or self-betrayal that we see is really common in how most relationships deal with conflict. One or the other of you is self-betraying over and over again. And even if in the moment that seems like a worthy sacrifice, over time, it never does. So that's 2. 3, we're going to design your ideal love story and practice embodying it together.
That's so fun.
Right? So we'll have you really work on that. And you're going to see evidence of each other really being a version of themselves that you'll just be in awe of as you watch. And we'll help you anchor that over the course of the months that follow so that it's not just something you can do in the room with us, but it's something that you carry on. You know, 4, we'll resolve once and for all one of your most painful recurring patterns. And if we don't resolve it all the way, we promise to at least begin you on the process and show you everything you need to do step by step in order to get there. In our last workshop, we had almost everybody in the room go from beginning to end and resolve something really, really fully and completely, and put to bed a recurring pattern. And so we'll give you all of the tools that you need to do that. And then 5 is, you know, we'll show you how to make sure that your resolved conflicts stay resolved. Right? So that they don't come back later, a month later, a week later, a day later, in the car on the way home, you know. So we're going to show you how to do that. 6, we're going to talk about why being good at conflict resolution is the way it's normally taught can actually hurt your relationship. Like there's some myths and misunderstandings that are super common that I bet all of you are doing, or at least most of you, even the really conscious ones. In fact, often it's the very conscious ones that are trying on some of these that are actually creating more harm than good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 7 will detect your partner's highest evolutionary path. And then we'll teach you how to guide them to it and vice versa. So you'll each be discovering the evolutionary path, the highest point of potential and developmental line that they need to go on next. And we'll show you how do you be the kind of person that guides your partner there so that they are just forever seeing you as the key to the man or woman they always dreamed of being. Yeah. And that's really what an evolutionary partnership is. So we'll tell you how to detect that and how to guide them.
There's a false dichotomy there. People think that either they're like trying to fix their partner, you know, you're not supposed to fix your partner. Mm-hmm. So they think, oh, either they're trying to coach me or fix me or like, you know, change me, or they're just hands off and they're like, well, you know, to each his own. I'm not trying to fix you. So I'm not involved. So there's this apathy or this controlling continuum that people think they have to be on, and we show you this total path completely off of that continuum, where you're not trying to fix them, but neither do you have apathy, but you're actually engaged in their evolution, which is what makes an evolutionary partner.
Totally. Will help you transcend the normal cycle of complaining and defensiveness. I mean, these are big ones in relationships. Like, I bet all of you can relate to the complaining and defensiveness as one of the primary patterns, not just anxious and avoidant. You know, we're giving a lot of tools on that, but there's equally painful for relationships are the complaint and defensiveness, the victimization kind of that we go into around our relating. We're going to talk a little bit about how to transcend that for you and your partner.
I want to let you know how you participate. So first of all, you want to register now by clicking the button, and it's on the screen for them.
Yeah.
So first you register, and then the whole thing starts with your love profile, which is a transformational experience in itself. And that is where you get to, through the use of our technology, get feedback from your friends, from your current partner, and if you're brave, even from ex-partners, about
which we recommend.
Yeah, it's really incredible, the feedback that you get.
People have told us that just doing the profile was worth the whole price of the program, and that was even before they showed up on the first day. Yeah.
And then we give a lot of focused one-on-one guidance to everyone throughout the experience. You also get live exercises and a workbook. So you can learn the practice, conversations, frameworks, and step-by-step practices that will evolve the way you love, the way you relate, the way you communicate. We give you a workbook, which is also downloadable. And we give you an email sequence where you get a reminder every week of a practice you can do that week to enhance and deepen your love relationship with daily, weekly, monthly rituals. These things are awesome. They're things that we do personally in our relationship.
Every one of them is stuff that we do all the time, and we wanted to share, like open the kimono. What are the practices that we're doing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and give you those in an email sequence that's going to live on with you for the year after you do this workshop, to help you integrate the material so that you don't forget it, because you'll be reminded of it in your inbox. Just around the manual that you're getting, it's really the beginnings of a book that Bryan and I will be writing together. And one of the things that people said about it was like, whoa, I thought this was just going to be sparse, like a few little handouts, this manual. And they're like, this is really meaty. This is rich. This in and of itself is incredibly valuable. I can't even believe you guys are giving me this entire manual, basically the war and peace of how to have a evolutionary partnership. It'll contain things we won't even have time to cover because we really want to give you something comprehensive.
And then lastly, we're available in the Evolving Love Facebook group to give you more one-on-one support. And it allows you to really belong to the community, of course, of like-minded seekers who you not can only learn from, but also share your experiences with.
So if you were going to pay us for our coaching, which we do one-on-one, and which it'd probably be around $7,500 or more, and take you 5 or 6 months
to do everything that's in the course.
To do everything that's in the course, one-on-one with Bryan and I separately, not in a live event group setting, but with us, and it would be worth it, because we would just really laser in with you. And that would be some of the best investment that you could make in your relationship. There's no better investment you can make into the quality of your life than to improve the quality of how you love. It changes everything. You can have this kind of shift in the way that you love and the way that you feel loved in just a couple days. We want to give you this live event. We love doing things in groups. There's a power that occurs in the field when we get all of you in the room together. That's a real rarefied space. So that's what we want to give you today at a fraction of that price. It's only a few $100s. We wanted to make this such a no-brainer, so accessible. But we wanted to make those of you that want to really start this process with us now have a way to do it with us at a few $100s, so that you're really getting into it with us and having it be accessible and easy for you to say yes.
Couples coaches, therapists, and counselors have been reaching out to us to learn about what we're doing. And this is what one professional couples counselor had to say after taking the workshop. Just quote, "I feel like I've been waiting for this information all my life. My lens of what a relationship can be has widened and expanded. I now have a definition and a knowing of what an extraordinary and evolutionary relationship looks like and feels like. And I know the way I do relationship and the way I work with my clients is forever changed."